Welcome, everyone. Look, if you're planning to launch or advance your professional career in Germany, you might have already bumped into a pretty frustrating truth. And that is simply holding a university degree from your home country isn't always enough to get your foot in the door. You literally have to prove its worth to a completely new system. So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to treat navigating the German job market like a digital quest. Our main mission, to successfully unlock your career potential by validating your degree through the official ZAB process. It's a structured journey, and I am super excited to guide you through it. So let's jump right in. Okay, check this out. On the left side here, an unrecognized foreign degree. Now that might represent years of absolute hard work, and it's probably perfectly valid back in your home country, but here in the German market, it often just gets ignored by employers, or even worse, it literally gets automatically filtered out by those applicant tracking systems because HR departments they don't know how to evaluate it. But look at the right side. A ZAB-recognized degree. This is highly competitive and universally trusted by German companies. Now, while this official recognition isn't strictly legally required for non-regulated jobs, having it absolutely skyrockets your career prospects. In super competitive fields, proactively getting this recognition is basically like a cheat code to bypass those initial resume filters. You're proving your worth to top German employers before they even have to ask, making it incredibly easy for them to just say yes to an interview. So, the crucial point is understanding exactly what the ultimate reward of this quest actually is. You're going after something called a statement of comparability, or if you want to practice your German, a Zeugnisbewertung. This is an official digital certificate. It's totally forgery-proof, and it's issued by the Central Office for Foreign Education. We just call them the ZAB. They're Germany's main accreditation body. And this document does something incredibly valuable for you. It clearly confirms exactly how your foreign higher education qualification aligns with German education standards. It basically translates your entire academic background into a language that German employers instantly understand and, more importantly, trust. All right, so to achieve this, we've got a clear map for today's digital quest. First, we're covering how to boost your career prospects, then creating your Bund ID, gathering your essential documents, navigating the ZAB application form, and finally, payment, submission, and tracking. Let's do this. Okay, let's dive into this. Stage 1, boost your career prospects. Moving right along to Stage 2, creating your Bund ID. The fantastic news here is that the entire ZAB application process is now completely digital. No more giant stacks of paper. To access the ZAB portal, you just need a digital key, and that's called the Bund ID. Let's walk through forging that key. First off, and this is a huge pro tip, when you navigate to the Bund ID website, look up at the top right corner and switch the website language to English immediately. Just do it right away. This ensures you don't miss any critical details. Next, if you're a non-EU national, the absolute simplest method is to just select the username and password option to create your account. Then, you literally just enter your personal details, pop in your email address, and verify the code they send you. Once you create your password and pick a security question, boom, you get a confirmation email, your digital key is forged and ready to go. Next up, Stage 3, gathering your essential documents. Now, preparation here is literally everything. Missing files mean major delays. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that very last point on the list, transcripts, or mark sheets, depending on what your country calls them. These are a strict non-negotiable requirement. You absolutely cannot just submit your final diploma and call it a day. The ZAB needs to see your complete academic record. There are also some incredibly strict rules about your original degrees and transcripts to prevent fraud. They have to be official university-attested copies. So they either need to be mailed to the ZAB physically in a sealed envelope straight from your university, or, and this is way easier, they can be sent directly via email from your university's official email address straight to the ZAB service address. On top of that, you're going to need your secondary school leaving certificates, your passport or German ID, and eventually the completed ZAB application form itself. Okay, I need to emphatically state the strict exclusionary rule. Pay attention to this part. Unless your original documents are natively issued in English, or a very small handful of other languages like French, Spanish, Italian, or Arabic, an officially certified translation is absolutely required. No exceptions. Do not, and I mean do not, attempt to translate them yourself or use some random uncertified service. If your degree is in a language outside of that specific accepted list, a legally certified translation into either German or English is mandatory for the reviewers to even process your application. All right, Stage 4, the ZAB application form. All right, your artifacts are gathered, your translations are officially certified. It is time to actually use that Bund ID you just created. You're going to log back into your account, and it'll automatically redirect you to the ZAB website so you can fill out the official digital application form. Quick heads up, if the interface happens to magically switch back to German during that redirect, don't panic, just calmly switch it back to English. You'll put in your full personal details, including where you live right now. Then, you're going to enter your complete academic history. I'm talking down to the exact dates of your studies and the issuance dates on your certificates. And whatever you do, do not forget your preceding degrees. If you're asking the ZAB to evaluate a master's degree, you must also submit the details and documents for your underlying bachelor's degree. Finally, if you already have a qualifying job offer, check the EU Blue Card Fast Track box and attach your employment contract right there. Almost there. Stage 5, payment submission and tracking. So, once you've reviewed all your info and given your final consent on the form, welcome to the final boss stage. These are the absolutely critical last steps where precision with your payment and your communication is paramount to crossing the finish line. And this brilliantly illustrates the magic number you need to keep in mind, 208 euros. That is the exact standard evaluation fee required by the German government for a first-time application for your statement of comparability. So, here are your strict instructions for clearing this final hurdle. First, you've got to pay this fee using the exact reference number they give you. You typically have about 3 weeks to pay via PayPal, credit card, or bank transfer. But listen, if you mess up that reference number, they literally cannot link the payment to your application. It's a huge headache. Next up, save your bank statement or your payment receipt immediately. It acts as a vital record and undeniable proof of your transaction. And finally, build a habit of checking your Bundes-ID portal every single week. The ZAB is not going to chase you down. If they need an extra document or if there's an update to your status, they're going to message you directly through that secure account. So keep an eye on it. Once the whole shebang is submitted and paid for, how long is the actual wait? Well, it kind of depends on your specific goal. If you check that EU Blue Card box and attached an employment contract, you're placed on a fast track. That takes about 2 weeks. Pretty fast, right? Now, if your purpose is standard employment in Germany, the processing takes around 2 months. And for all other standard evaluations and purposes, you should expect a processing time of about 3 months. Knowing this timeline is great because it lets you know exactly when your ultimate career-boosting certificate is going to arrive safely in your digital inbox. Well, we made it. We've navigated through all 5 stages. You now have the complete map to conquering the ZAB digital quest. You know exactly why it matters, how to create your secure portal, the exact artifacts, especially those mandatory transcripts that you need, how to navigate the form, and the precise fees and timelines to expect. The process is now entirely in your hands. So the only question left to ask is, are you ready to validate your hard-earned skills, bypass those annoying resume filters, and officially unlock your new career in Germany? Gather up your documents and start your journey today.